In today's video, Garrett isn't only teaching us about influencer marketing when it comes to Airbnb, short-term rentals, tiny homes, domes, yurts, tents, and more, but he's actually gonna break down exactly how to reach out to them, how to find them, how to have them work for you, how much you should be paying them. We're going through the entire thing.
Today I'm going to show you this awesome A-frame Airbnb behind me.
This Airbnb has a secret to it. This bookcase is not just a bookcase. It's a secret door, and it leads down to the theater room. Let's head down there.
Also, be sure to subscribe to the channel because this is only part one in a part free marketing course that Garrett and I are releasing right here on my channel. So without further ado, let's dive right into the content.
Without a doubt, I would say the biggest key, and it took me trying with different people. I probably gained like 10 to 15,000 followers in the last month on social media because I've had a couple influencers come stay. I had one that I paid $550 for her. She has a couple, like 200,000 in Houston. She's more of a food blogger in Houston, but she does travel things. I knew that this was my market I wanted to touch. She's really, really impactful in the Houston area. For $550, we did a giveaway, which I highly recommend for sites that are starting to come up, because the giveaway, she's been all over country, all over Texas, and I think we were her third high. It almost hit a million plays on her Instagram, which is her third highest one. But a lot of it was because of that giveaway. People were sharing, people were tagging. She made a really good video, and that grew our social presence a lot. Between our own organic marketing where we're just posting. But then we also had a couple smaller influencers that we didn't pay. That we have a lot of people hitting us up all the time, like, hey, we want to come stay at your place. We'll trade you content for this. And some of them, there's a site called socialblade.com that you can check some of these influencers, like actual numbers, to see like what kind of response they actually get, how much feedback and engagement. We allowed a few free stays. One person, we told him, like, hey, we're starting now to tell influencers, hey, if you pay our cleaning fee, like a Monday through Wednesday when we're usually not booked, we'll let you come and stay for the night. You can put content up, do all those things, tag us in it, and, we'll repurpose it. We've had at least 3 of those stays now where they come. One of them, we didn't make them charge a cleaning fee, but I started doing that after, just because, for my own bottom line. They were happy to do that as well. Those 3 smaller influencers, they only had a couple thousand followers, nothing major. All of their videos have been doing, 20,000 here, 30,000 views here. And that's just as good as paying to put it on, Facebook ads and all these things. And then you have people in this footage, and they want to, they're trying to do really well with their platform too. So, they're taking videos that you would pay somebody to do normally, them roasting s'mores and them hanging out by the hot tub. You can put that content on your page. So you're not having to go pay a film company to bring actors out and other things like that. So partnering with some of these smaller influencers might actually be the way to counteract, like, how you can get, content with people in it. If you don't, I don't have many people I can call to come.
Hello.
All right, back.
Hey, you back?
We're good.
You said that you got burned by some influencers.
I was picking word. Well, I didn't necessarily get burned by an influencer, but I had some influencers decline coming to my site, saying it wasn't ready, and and one of them was like, I don't really like your space theme, and other things like that. And it was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I say that so people don't get discouraged if they reach out to some influencers and they don't respond, or they are kind of negative about their site. I had the same thing, but I had an influencer that agreed to it, and it ended up being one of her best performing videos she has had. So don't get discouraged if you do reach out to some different influencers, or you're trying to figure out your path with that, because not all the people are going to be, you're not going to be the target for how they want to build their business, and they may not be the target demographic that you're looking for as well. So I did have that happen. I didn't necessarily get burned, but I don't want people to not get discouraged if they reach out to a few people and then they just don't get the response that they want from it, because I had the similar situation. But working with free influencers and mid-level paid ones definitely was one of the biggest returns I had besides Facebook ads. Those two things definitely helped
Can you
keep me
give us the
95%
playbook?
booked.
Like, how do you, I mean, it's pretty easy to find influencers, just go on social media, dig around, use hashtags for your local area if you need to like really get pushed in one direction. But then when you slide in their DMs, sup, I'm Garrett. Like, how do you start the conversation?
Yeah, so I try to approach it. I do know like pictures always lead the best, and I have some really good pictures of my dome. So I very much say, hey, my name's Garrett. I run a glamping site. Give them a quick, synopsis. I don't want to be. I usually am not trying to be too wordy. I really just give them a quick idea of what I'm looking for, asking if they want, depending on the level, like how many followers they have, kind of determines the level of sorts. That's usually when I decide on like, hey, do y'all want to collaborate if they're smaller, or if I know they're going to charge me just because they're a bigger influencer. I will say like, hey, how do you usually make this happen? How can we work together? I've had bigger influencers that I didn't think were going to do it for free, and they ended up doing it for free just because I worded it that way. Like, how can we work together? Because that kind of has a double meaning of like, I'm willing to pay you, but is there something like, can I just offer you the free stay and we're good that way? And usually when you're offering things, and if you're the first one to offer something like, hey, I have $1,000 for you if you want to come, they may have only charged you 500, and then you laid that out before they were even willing to kind of talk business with them. So I do, but I'll go search hashtags, and a lot of the food bloggers in your area probably like doing travel stuff too. And also the other thing I found is that they also follow a lot of like their following count. If you go into Instagram and you're looking at who they're following, they probably follow a lot of other influencers that are good options for you too, or places that, because they want to see where other people are going. And like the one that I found, that the biggest one that got me some of my most bookings, I believe, I found her from another lady that I was talking to, because I went into her followers and I was like, oh, this lady looks like she does some cool stuff. Let me reach out to her. And so they usually run in similar circles, and you'll see them commenting on each other's posts. And I've reached out to a lot of people and got numbers, and I would, if they were going to charge me, I would get like, okay, this is your rate. I would go on to socialblade.com. I would type in their Instagram handle and see what kind of engagement they get first. Okay, this person wants $1,000, but they're getting a 20% engagement rate, or whatever in numbers are. This person wanted 500. They have a little bit less followers, but their engagement rate is double the other person. And you kind of crunch the numbers that way, and you can skip out paying some higher dollar ones when you could get the same amount of return with a smaller level influencer, just because they get that engagement that you're actually looking for. The engagement rate is the main critical piece for working with influencers. They can have followers all day. They could have bought the followers. They could have went viral on one post that just did a massive amount of numbers, and they gained a ton of followers, but it's not necessarily your demographic that is most of their followers. So that's kind of where you have to do a little bit of research, especially when you start spending the money with them. If you're looking for smaller level, like, influencers that you can just trade a stay for, you can take a couple of risks, because most of the time I let them come through Monday through Wednesday, because I'll have bookings here and there, but most of the time Monday through Wednesday is a pretty slow part for my personal operation. I'll have some last minute bookings come through, but usually if I block off that one night for an influencer, you'll make that money back, especially if they're good with making content and helping you be able to bring some extra eyes to your place.
This has been a